Episode 5, Consequences. The Medicae Bay makes itself known slowly, not with pain, but with smell. Antiseptic laid thick over scorched metal, the careful sterility of a place that exists in contrast to the violence which precedes it. Machines hum in quiet cooperation. Somewhere close, fluid cycles. Breath returns before memory does. Carl Thonius surfaces into consciousness like a man swimming up from depths, lungs burning, thoughts lagging behind sensation. For a moment there is only weight, warmth, and the steady insistence of life continuing without asking him first. Then he tries to move. His right arm answers sluggishly, not with pain but resistance, heavy and distant, as if it belongs to someone else, and he is only borrowing it on poor terms. Panic flares, brief, sharp, and then recedes as he realizes the arm is there, present, wrapped tight in layers of bandage that pin it to his side like a fragile cargo. Fingers protrude from the gauze. His fingers. They do not move. A figure leans into his blurred field of vision. Zarjaran, the ship's senior chirurgeon, augmetic eyes dulled by years of emergency work, voice practiced in speaking to men who wake up changed. "You've been out for 2 days," Zarjaran says gently. 16 hours on the table. Longer if you count the preparation. Thonius swallows. His throat hurts. Everything hurts, now that sensation has caught up. "My arm," he manages. Zarjaran nods once. No drama, no triumph. "We were able to reattach it," he says. "The cut was clean. That helped. A very sharp blade." There is a pause, not for suspense, but for honesty. "It's too early to say how much function you'll recover." Thonius exhales, shaky despite himself. Relief comes first. He is whole, or close enough to whole that the difference still feels theoretical. The alternative, absence, amputation, a clean end to the matter, presses in only faintly like a thought he refuses to complete. Another voice enters the room, calm and heavier with meaning. "Dr. Zarjaran is being modest," Ravenor says, his tone flat and precise through the vox sponder. "He performed the regraft himself. 16 hours without standing down." Zarjaran makes a small, dismissive motion. "It was necessary." Necessary. Not heroic, not miraculous. Just the correct response to a situation that allowed no delay. Thonius closes his eyes. The memory comes back in fragments now. Flint. The crush of bodies. The sudden whine of a chain blade too close to for comfort. The moment when the world narrowed to noise and impact, and the certainty that something irreversible had just happened. He is alive. That realization lands slowly, heavier than gratitude. Alive, but altered. Alive, but not yet proven functional. The arm lies against him, warm and silent. A question wrapped in gauze. Flint is over. Whatever it took from him will make itself known later. For now, survival is enough. The conference room aboard the Hinterlight is built for decisions, not comfort. Fixed seating, hard light. A table long enough to establish hierarchy at a glance. Ravenor's chair holds the head position, anti-grav steady, systems murmuring at a low register. He does not move, but the room orients around him regardless. This is his space. Everyone present understands that. Kinski sits opposite, posture relaxed, hands idle now that he has been told to keep them still. Pale, precise, and watchful, a man who treats attention as currency and spends it carefully. Madsen stands back from the table, arms folded loosely, expression neutral. A Henobarb remains on his feet behind Kinski, bulk and silence doing their work without instruction. Thonius is seated further down, jacket arranged to conceal the heavy bandaging at his side. He says nothing. He doesn't need to. "You exceeded your remit," Ravenor says. The words come through the vox-sponder, flattened and exact. No psychic pressure, no anger, just record-keeping. Kinski smiles faintly at Thonius. "You survived." Ravenor does not respond to that. "You acted without authorization," he continues. "You compromised an active operation. You exposed my people." Kinski considers this, head tilted slightly, as if evaluating a technical correction rather than a reprimand. "I gathered information," he says. "That is my function." Silence follows, not awkward, not hostile, deliberate. The kind that forces everyone present to consider where responsibility will be placed. "You will not do so again without my consent," Ravenor says at last. Quiet. Absolute. Kinski's smile fades. Just a fraction. Enough. "You remain attached to this operation," Ravenor continues, "because I allow it. Because I prefer to see what you do when you know you're being watched." Madsen inclines her head by the smallest possible degree. Not approval. Acknowledgement. The boundaries are clear now. Thonius works from the infirmary. The operating keyboard has been repositioned across his lap, its interface simplified, controls widened to compensate for what no longer responds. His right arm lies secured at his side beneath layers of bandage, present but useless. He does not test it. He does not comment on it. There is work to be done. Siskin's name has lingered since Carnivora, dragged loose from Dubois under interrogation, and then set aside while Flint descended into violence. Dubois remains aboard the ship, alive and silent, his usefulness spent. There is nothing more to extract from him. So Thonius turns to the records. Astropathic traffic first, then cargo logs, then routine communiques filed, because no one thought to hide them. He filters aggressively, ignoring the everyday illegality that clings to any rogue trader worth the name. One message resists dismissal. Uncoded, logged without care. Sent by Kizari Thekla the day after the October country broke orbit. It contains nothing overtly incriminating, but the final line gives him pause. Firetide drinks as usual. Thonius cross-references the phrase Carto Imperialis, trade calendars, festival registries. The answer arrives quietly. Firetide is a gathering, a recurring festival held on Bonner's Reach, beyond the reach of comfortable law, where rogue traders meet without pretense. Thonius records the finding and sits with it, letting the shape of it settle. Firetide isn't an occasion you just stumble across. It is somewhere you go when you believe the timing is right. Zale wakes in the dark, already crying out. There are no words at first, just sound, the raw cry of someone trying to shut out a presence that won't let go. Kais is with him almost immediately. She keeps her presence banked low, contained and careful, listening beyond the noise rather than pushing against it. This is not panic. This is signal. The dreams have changed. They are no longer fragments or echoes, no longer the loose psychic residue of places and people Zale does not understand. They are shaped now, directed, messages pressing through sleep. Zale clutches at the blanket, eyes unfocused. "She's closer," he whispers. Kais stills. "She wants me to open the door." As usual, Kais records the details carefully and reports the escalation once Zale has settled again. The words are precise. The concern is not disguised. Ravenor is not surprised. He gives no instruction, makes no immediate move. Some dangers are better carried close, where their weight can be measured rather than imagined. For now, Zale remains asleep. Whatever is calling to him is content to wait. Thonius stands alone in his cabin. His shirt lies discarded over the back of a chair. The mirror above the washstand is fogged with breath he doesn't remember taking, his reflection blurred just enough to make it easier not to look too closely. His right arm hangs heavy at his side, present but unresponsive, an encumbrance rather than a tool. He opens the drawer. The shard waits beneath its red tissue, inert and unremarkable, patient in the way only dangerous things ever are. He doesn't hesitate long enough to call it a decision. Just once, he tells himself. Just to remember what it felt like to be complete. The contact is immediate. Light unfolds through him, not blinding, not violent, but expansive. Space opens where there had been constraint. Thought sharpens. The ache of limitation recedes, replaced by a sense of alignment so natural it feels like forgiveness. For a brief, intoxicating moment, he is not reduced. His fingers respond, not with strength, not with motion, but with presence, with the certainty that nothing essential has been lost. The door chime sounds. The sensation collapses instantly. The light withdraws. The room reasserts itself with dull insistence. Thonius replaces the shard, hands steady now, heart racing but controlled. Sweat cools along his spine, as if nothing unusual has happened at all. Kara steps in without ceremony, easy and familiar. "Checking on you," she says. "You holding up?" Thonius turns, the old smile already in place. It comes without effort, as it always did before Flint. "I'm fine." Kara studies him for half a second, then nods. Whether she believes him or simply accepts the answer, the effect is the same. She leaves. Thonius exhales slowly and looks at the drawer again. The injury has created a gap. Something else has already learned how to fill it. The briefing chamber aboard the Hinterlight is stripped back to function. Projection light washes the table in drifting star maps. Routes fade in and out as calculations update, certainty eroding with every jump plotted beyond the margins of Imperial space. Firetide. Bonner's Reach. Firetide. Cartel territory. No law worth invoking, no authority that will answer in time. People who arrive into that context already aware of what it implies. Priest takes her place without comment, posture composed, attention fixed on the display. There is tension in her stillness, the restraint of someone measuring risks that won't appear on any official accounting. Ravenor occupies the head position, his chair steady, systems murmuring beneath the low hum of the room. He does not soften the assessment. "This is where the trail converges," he says. "This is where Siskind stops operating alone." Priest considers the projection, then asks the question that has been waiting since the first coordinate appeared. "And if it's a trap?" Ravenor does not hesitate. "Then it's one we enter knowingly. There is no bravado in it, no reassurance either." Priest nods once. The concern has been registered, the risk accepted. Beyond the viewports, the starfield thins. Navigation markers grow sparse. Charts begin to rely on reputation more than record. Lucky space does not announce itself. It begins where certainty stops being enforceable. The Hinterlight, turns toward the dark. Behind them, flint, paid for in flesh. Ahead, fire tide, and men who believe trade excuses anything. Thonius sleeps badly. Zale dreams louder. Kinski waits, and Ravenor watches all. This is the price of entry. The investigation has taken them as far as it can. Lucky space lies ahead, where inquiry ends and consequence takes over.